if you're going to help them get back on their feet, why not give them what we would want? Many of us pay a lot of money for. Mm-hmm. And they get it for free. It didn't cost the county a dime to accept a 5-star catered meal for a homeless man to eat. I mean, some of this is restoring the dignity and the pride back into our people so that they have the motivation, the encouragement, and the support to get up, even though they've fallen down. That's what this is all about. But now we can't even do that. I don't know what's going on with the county and why that's a problem. Somebody need to tell me something.
Event and said that, at the time, she was unaware of his cancer struggle. At the age of 43, the Black Panther actor passed away in 2020. Welcome back, it's your host, Nancy Brown. If you are new here, make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel.
And I thought he was training for a movie. I thought he was, some people really get into the roles.
And he had posted he was telling people to stay inside.
And I had said, man, you need to stay inside or something like it was a joke.
I didn't know anything about his cancer or anything. And I riffed on him. From there, she explained that everybody thought it was funny and cool at the time. Boseman famously didn't make his cancer diagnosis public prior to his passing.
And then, I don't even care how people looked at me. How I looked at myself was crazy.
She explained. I was like, all right, I gotta change the way I move. And for a minute, I didn't want to do Jess with the mess no more because you don't know what the hell people going through.
You don't know what the hell people going through. When you come in somebody's appearance.
It took me a minute to bounce back from that. I was struggling with my own thing, and then I went online and seen how I was receiving hate.
And I was canceled and everything like that. And I was like,
there's a lot of vices that's out there that's persuading us and telling us that if we don't have a certain number of followers, that we shouldn't be and do what God calls us to do. There's a lot of vices out there that say that you need to have a clique and that you need to be a part of this and that and
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good night. No matter who you are, wherever you are, this is Trey Wiz. Some of y'all might know me from 2 platforms that I have going on in regards to mental health. So whether it be Just Stop It or whether it be the Pit Stop on Wednesdays, main shows on Sundays, this is not about that today because this is a DMV Live Uncut session. I consider it a session because it's like a talk. I don't want nobody to feel like, there's no pressure to watch or pressure to listen, but it's informal. So we're talking about something good. I'm happy to be sharing this with a brother of mine, somebody that I'm learning a lot from, somebody that I can see firsthand doing a darn on thing. A lot of people talk. A lot of people say that they are about this, they're about action, they're about change, and they're about movements. But how many people do you know that actually do it? So I wanted to give a shout out to my brother Kenneth before I pull him up for just staying by his word, honestly, doing the doggone thing like it should be done. Let me bring up my brother Kenneth. What's up, Kenny?
What's up, brother? What's good?
What's
good,
up?
man?
What's up,
good,
brother?
man?
What's up? What's going on? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing phenomenal, man. The sun is out. It is springing, and springing has sprung. And we that little hour that we didn't have from spring forward, man, it's truly amazing to be here, man.
I feel you on that. I ain't mad at that. So today, look, you already know how things are going to start going when it comes to the doors that are opening with DMV Live Uncut. Not only what you're doing by yourself, but you trusting me and blessing me with being able to make these small little movements with your platform, being a part of it in this way, being visual, giving them something that they can look back on and watch and be entertained by or even be informed by, because we do, say it like it is on this platform. But thank you for just letting me be a part. This isn't just because it might be on StreamYard and I might be doing certain things doesn't mean that you don't deserve the glory of even having this space to do this in the first place. Because yeah, I can maybe produce it or press a few buttons and have a few things come up, but it's you that has the movement going. So I want to ask you a question before we even get into the subject for today, which is Just Hilarious. So for those that do know her, Just Hilarious has been on Wild 'N Out. She is a YouTube sensation. I've been following her way before, she really got the fame and I wouldn't even say the fame yet necessarily, but the notoriety, I guess, would be a good word for it. I wanted to ask you before we get into her and what she did and how we witnessed her being accountable. I wanted to ask you, the DMV Live Uncut movement. Where was that birth from? Where did that come from? This isn't an interview, but I did want to ask and understand where that movement came from before we even get into what we're talking about today.
Okay, well, I have always been a very unorthodox individual, very non-traditional individual, and I really found myself creating this platform because I have been in spaces, social media spaces, where individuals like myself, male, female, that feel as if where can they go to really talk about these hard topics without, no judgment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's, and somebody that's, that's not going to get filtered, somebody that's not going to get paused, somebody that's, and and just being a regular advocate myself from what I have seen, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of people telling our issues that are not of our origin. They're not of our ethnicity. They're not of our race. They're not of the black and brown hue, African American. They're not of the indigenous. You know, you know,
I know.
culture
I know.
and climate. So it's like, instead of me waiting for a great white hope or somebody else to say what's going on and keep it real and keep it uncut, it was like, you know what? Let me just use the knowledge, the education, and put it to use. When I went to Morgan State University, that's where it was birthed.
That's what's
Because I
up.
was like, okay, yeah, once I start doing film, once I start, getting into broadcasting and whatnot, I was like, you know what? Oh, it's on. It's on.
I mean, shoot, I appreciate that uncut space because though we have even you having movements and things going outside of DMV Live Uncut. I like that you don't just have one thing going on, but you have a multitude of things going on. But I appreciate the uncut space because I feel like you can hit a lot of people. And let me say this first: being uncut doesn't mean cussing. It doesn't necessarily mean derogatory. It just means saying it like you want to say it and not really, like you said, the filter, not really being worried about having a filter. Sometimes I feel like saying it raw and saying it how it needs to be said sometimes just hits a lot more people than it would if you're trying to be light and coy about it. Because people want to see you be transparent. People want to see you get into the subject like it matters to you. So, shoot, I appreciate the space. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Shout out to those that got something going on, like a multitude of things going on. But yeah, all them people that you was talking about, like Molly, for instance, with the CMOS and people that we know around us that got their own movements and organizations. I'm proud of y'all. From me to y'all, I'm proud of y'all. I ain't mad. For real.
Man, that's what it's all about. As you see in the corner of the screen, it says "We all we got." So it's like, this
We all we got. We all we need.
This a we movement. This a we movement. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about.
And you can't do it by yourself. You can have the legwork or the willpower to get it done, but you can't do it by yourself. So, and one thing we was talking about before we even got started was the going against the grain. These subjects we talk about, luckily, and I'm grateful that they are catching eyes and people are seeing what we're doing and people are chiming in, because it's just as much as there are people that don't care to see things in a positive light or even just produce like positive energy or positive content. As many people as you have like that, there are people that do want to see things go right. They are tired of seeing things go a certain way. On the subject of accountability, you had brought up Jess Hilarious to me. So somebody that I have followed for a long time. She One thing I gave her kudos for when you and I were on the phone before this was her stepping up. When people step up and they don't need anyone when they do it, when they're on top, they on top of their A game, and they still will bring themselves down to a point where they're okay with apologizing. They're okay with being wrong. One of the main things that we've been talking about lately, and that's all of us really, is the word accountability. So yeah, like I said, like letting your ego down, putting your ego to the side for a moment just to say that I'm sorry. And I would say, don't let it be an apology because there's pressure against you to do so. So whether it be your peers or whatever telling you to apologize because it means something to you. Apologize because you care enough to do so. But how did you feel? Let me turn this over to you, because I feel like I've been doing enough talking in this first 10 minutes. But what made you want to bring up the subject? I know we're on accountability. I understand that. But what made you want to bring and highlight, whether it's, concerns or comments or whatever, what made you want to bring up Just Hilarious?
Well, so as you stated, we've been talking about accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Accountability is the presence of taking ownership, taking responsibility, or the lack of taking ownership or lack of responsibility. When it comes to this topic of accountability, I felt like here is somebody that is in a position of notoriety. She's a celebrity. She is native of the DMV region.
Baltimore.
Yeah, be more.
Baltimore, yeah. Yeah.
We from the last show, we talked about, the kiki and ha and the laughing, the lack of not having compassion or empathy or concern about things that hurt or harm the community. And here it is. This is someone that wasn't talking, but this is someone that actually demonstrated, hey, I blew it. No, I blew it. I messed up. I went in Joan on a celebrity. And she she
Chadwick
made it.
Boseman, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman. For those of y'all, Just Hilarious. She had something called Just a Mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Her little sideshow she had, yeah.
Yeah. And she would, crack her jokes and do what she do from a comedy, from a comedic perspective. And she really took it out there. She she made fun of Chaz Bosewick. Y'all know Wakanda. I'm still saying,
Wakanda forever.
And she made a joke. She made fun of him, of him being sick, and and she realized that after she had made that joke, it wasn't necessarily after she made the joke, but once she had the time to go back and look at her stand-up, her show. Chaz Boseman passed away. And when she learned that he passed away from cancer, it was like, yo, hold up. Like, it sunk in, like, hold up. I went on a brother. I made fun of a brother who was battling something that was an ailment, cancer. And wow, this is what I was doing. So I used my platform. I used my craft, my profession to make fun of somebody and not even paying attention that whether if it's comedic or not, you know, and that's the part that I appreciate about her because like she's, you know, she there was nobody that was putting her up to saying, hey, you know, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. But she took it upon herself and had time for self-evaluation. And she really realized like, yo, this was nah, I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have done that.
At least you're not
And
heartless, you know. At
yeah,
least you're not
you
heartless.
know,
I give it that.
yeah, you know, and the fact that she's African American, and you know, we've been talking about those of us in the African American community, Black and Brown
Mm-hmm.
community, taking accountability for harm, for things that we do that does cause harm to individuals, or not trying to empower or to uplift those within the African American community.
Very
Here it is.
true.
This is someone that's saying, you know what, I'm not too big, I'm not too small to walk in the spirit of integrity. I'm not too big and too I'm not too proud. I'm not too arrogant. I'm not too stiff necked. I'm not don't have my nose so way up in the air. Or I don't think that I'm so, you know, prestige or bad and bougie that I can't take ownership and accountability for something that I was using as to be fun and games, but in actuality really is harm, you
Yeah.
know, and that's mature because you don't have that. You think about it in schools. We have bullying is at all time high in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just keep it a bean. By
Mm-hmm.
what? Something that Just Hilarious has literally just done. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We it's not serious. It's not serious. No, we have fights that happen that transpire in our schools, you know, on the buses, you know what I'm saying, in our communities. And
Mm-hmm.
it's stuff like this being made fun because of the way that somebody's hair looked, being made fun of because of somebody may be skinny or somebody may be not so skinny or somebody may have some type of health condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you don't know. You
that you
don't know.
don't know, you know,
Yeah.
you know, and so this right here, my hats really goes off to Just Hilarious because it's like not a lot of people are doing it. You know, as we've been
Mm-hmm.
talking about accountability for these past few months, you
Mm-hmm.
know, a lot of you know, a lot of the things that's happening on a day-to-day
Mm-hmm.
basis of what we're seeing with in the community. Y'all know we talked about uh you know, the last segment we talked about the gentleman that attempted suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about the lack of not having not humanizing each other, not seeing each other as humans. And
Mm-hmm.
we, you know, treating each other as if that they're just things you can pick up off of a shelf as and treat it as if that they're anything and they're not human beings with souls
Mm-hmm.
and spirits and you
Mm-hmm.
know, so why not as someone who is in this position, you know, 'cause this is just a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, she could say, I'm out here trying to be, you know, I'm out here trying to get it the best way I can get it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
da 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 da. And she said, hold up, no, you know what? I'm not even gonna do Jess as a mess no more. Because you know, and she said it in the video, she said, um, I wasn't even looking at, what the people say. She said, because I did this. She said,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I did this and you don't know what people are going through. And that's what she said. She said,
You don't.
you making fun of people and you don't know what they're going through. She said, nah, I don't need to be doing this because if this is causing harm to the community, it's causing harm to people, you know, and all of us know some call it karma,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for
Mm-hmm.
some of the, for the faith-based community, some of us call it reaping and sowing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I call it seeds of discord.
Hmm.
Seeds of discord, because either what we're saying is either uplifting each other or is tearing each other down. I mean, the word does say it's life and death in the power of the tongue, and those that love it
Mm-hmm.
shall eat the fruit of it thereof.
Mm-hmm.
So if we love negativity,
Yeah.
they said you are what you eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I try not to entertain. I try not to entertain stuff, but so much. And this isn't a, this isn't. This is more of an acknowledgement. It's not a dragging of her or whatever. This is just like I said, like we were saying. This is acknowledging people realizing that they've done something wrong. So it doesn't matter on what level you're on. We don't have to just consider celebrities. Just think about yourselves and the things that you um, know that might not be right about some of your movements. So shout out to Jess Hilarious again for stepping up, doing something she didn't have to do. I appreciate that. But what can we do to get more? See, because this is the era of I could care less. Like you said, people say, "Oh, it's not my problem," or whatever, whatever. So, what can we do to encourage people more to own up to, what they're doing wrong, what's not right about their movements?
When we get people of this plateau, because unfortunately, you and I both know in the African American community, when it comes to the position of our urban communities, let's just keep it a buck. We know in our
Keep it
in
real.
our in our hoods, we know what it is. A lot of us are influenced by celebrities or rappers or people of this caliber,
Hmm.
people of this stature, right? When we
Hmm.
get moments like this, you get somebody like Jess Hilarious. We have to put these type of pillars out there
Yeah.
to say, hey, it's cool to be accountable. It's cool to apologize. It's cool to, to do it. The cool. And if y'all know anything about Baltimore, let's just keep it a buck. If you know anything about Baltimore, to have someone of this, uh, uh,
Stature or magnitude
stature,
or yeah.
magnitude, to say, you know what, I blew it.
Yeah.
I blew it.
I
I
messed
messed
up.
up.
I messed up.
I
Yeah.
don't care, this comedian, me being comedic may be my career, may be what I do for my, for my living. This may be what I do for my bread and butter. This may be how I pay my rent, how I buy my
Hmm.
clothes, how I may do what I do.
Hmm.
But I'm not too big. I'm not too small. I'm not too little. I'm not too arrogant. I'm not too, I'm not too, uh, uh, you know,
I know what you mean.
out of it to not acknowledge where I erred.
Hmm.
And I think putting more people like this, like Just Hilarious,
Hmm.
and I encourage y'all, anybody that's out there that's watching, you say, well, you know what, Just Hilarious is not the only one that that has done something like this. There's been plenty others. Let us know. Hit us up. Hit us up, because we want to
I
put
love to highlight people that
this.
are doing good work.
And that's what accountability is about. Accountability is saying that, you know what, I thought I was strong in this area, but you know what, I'm not as strong. um 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 I've made, I thought I was this, or I thought I was this,
Hmm.
had an Indian this
What's
strength,
up,
or I was
Slicky?
really wise. Yeah, what's going on there, Slicky Woo Woo? um that sometimes we need to see it. We live in a you gotta see it society, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Which